So in semi-pro, I have down here that you played for a number of teams before you permanently arrived at the Kansas City Monarchs.
Yeah, my first team, well, and I played with the Sarasota Tigers. That's the local team.
Okay.
And we were a pretty good team. But then I went to play with the Miami Giants, which was a better team. See, the Sarasota Ball Club had only local talent. But with the Miami Giants, we had guys from West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and different places, Tampa, because they would the manager would pick out the best ball players around and get them. So I played with the Miami Giants.
All right.
I played the Miami Giants and went north with the Miami Giants.
How would you get around from city to city? By bus?
No, we didn't have a bus. We had two automobiles, two 7-passenger automobiles. That's the way we traveled.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it's the funny thing, I was with a ball club after these Miami Giants. I went to play with the Miami Giants broke up, and that's when the Miami Giants became the Ethiopian Clowns.
Ethiopian Clowns.
You know, when Ethiopia, when Haile Selassie, when they were having problems over there, and so he thought if they named this Ethiopian Clowns, it would draw more people. That's the Ethiopian Clown. But I didn't play with them. I played. We got this same team. The guys were with the Miami Giants. We got some of those ball players, and we called ourselves the New York Tigers. None of us knew anything about New York, but we thought, you know, when you'd say anything New York or Harlem, you'd bring the black band. So we traveled west with that team.
Okay.
Traveled west and all the way into, well, we went into Louisiana, played in Louisiana, and this is the first time I saw Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. They played with the Pittsburgh Crawfords. And they were, oh man, this was big time. But we went in there, little old semi-pro ball club. We were in there, we stayed at the rooming house. We got two 7-passenger old Cadillacs. Those people, they just trying to give them away. And we got 11 ball players. So we get in the Monroe, and we can't pay the rent. We'd been there about a couple of weeks. We couldn't pay the rent. So the leader said, well, then I'll keep one of your cars until you come back and pay the rent. Okay, good enough. So we left from there and we went to Shreveport, Louisiana. And we put 3 in the front seat, 3 in the jump seat, 3 in the back seat. That's 6. We got 2 guys left. I would sit on the right fender. They had fenders that time. Other kid would sit on the left fender. I'd put out my left hand and he'd put out. We'd hold each other on. And we would ride maybe 100 miles or 50, 100 miles like that. Then we'd get out, get in the car, and 2 other guys would get out and do the same thing.
How good, when you first saw Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson, people have always said that Josh Gibson was probably better than Babe Ruth, and there was probably no white pitcher that could touch Satchel Paige. Well, do you think that's fair to compare the?
I'll tell you what, Josh Gibson. All right, we're gonna let me evaluate Josh Gibson and Babe Ruth.
All right.
Both great hitters. I talk now. I like to tell me about Sosa, McGuire. Great power hitters, but they weren't great hitters. They are good hitters. But Ruth and Josh Gibson, not only great power hitters, they were great hitters. 350 or something lifetime batting averages. And the difference in Ruth and Satchel was this: Ruth would strike out 100 times a year. Josh Gibson strike out maybe 20 times a year.
Big difference.